Hello and welcome to Standard Bank CIB's Why She Leads podcast. And I'm so pleased to be having a series of conversation with some of the most inspiring women deal makers. We're going to be finding out what it takes to get into the investment banking space, the obstacles that these women have had to overcome, and whether or not they found that elusive balance between their personal and professional lives. These women are changing the face of banking and inspiring generations that come after them. Joining me today is the Executive Head of Public Sector and Infrastructure, a wife, a mom, a powerhouse. Zen Dlamini, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
What would you say to your 18-year-old self now?
The 18-year-old Zen, I'd say to Zen, you've got it. You have all it takes to take on anything and everything that you dream of. The sky's the limit. Just go out there, grab it. Believe in yourself, never ever doubt yourself, and focus on everything that you put your mind or you set your mind in.
So, if we're looking at where you are now and the position that you occupy, can you just give me some insight into how you got there, especially for someone who's watching who thinks this is a difficult space to break into?
I wouldn't say obstacles. I don't call obstacles obstacles. I call them like tests. You have to think about things in a positive way. So banking is quite broad. It's split into various segments. You've got like your retail banking, you've got your business banking, and then you've got CIB, which is the most desirable for everyone. I know that a lot of people have tried to get into corporate investment banking, but it's just been an uphill battle. However, back to my statement, if you want something so bad and you put your mind on it and you focus, you will get it. There are other various considerations that you need to take into account.
Okay.
You first need to understand the space you want to get into. And you need to connect with the people that are in that space to make sure that this is exactly what you are looking for. So you can't just say, I want to be in corporate investment banking. You need to understand what CIB stands for. You need to understand the value proposition, because CIB is big as well. It's got various segments within itself. And you need to know where you need to land, because you could be in a product area, you could be in risk, you could be in the support areas, or you could be frontline where I am, and do the most, like you bring the bacon home, you changing things, you changing the face, and you bring in everyone together. So it's really about knowing what you want and understanding what you're going for and connecting with the relevant people and making sure that you find the right sponsors for you as well.
Who's done that for you? That said to you, you're a diamond, you can do this, let's go.
A lot of people have done that. Alan has done that for me. Bill Brecky, who's the CEO at BCB, has done that for me. Kenny has done that. I'm thinking just outside of our space, various other women have done that for me. And my husband. My husband tells me, when I actually think I don't believe in myself anymore, he says, yo, my gold, never. You are the best thing ever the world has ever seen. So when I go to bed, I could have like a lousy day, like when I get home, I know that I actually do have this sounding board. I have someone that will say to me, you are the best. When I wake up in the morning, hello, you are the best. Remember that, and I walk tall because of the support, and I'm grateful, and I always talk about gratitude. For me, I've gratitude, and I always talk about waves of abundance, like I use affirmations, like one of my affirmations in this year was like waves of abundance. And in another month, it was like a gratitude, because I remember to count my blessing. So yes, I've had a number of people actually remind me that this is your worth, like you're doing great.
You spoke about having people who know more than you, having people who can guide you. What's the importance of a mentor, especially if you're navigating the space that seems quite overwhelming or challenging to get into and thrive?
Yeah, you've got mentors and you've got sponsors. So some find you, some you find. To have a mentor means that you've got a sounding board, means that you have like a professor, for lack of a better word, outside of varsity or tertiary school. To have a mentor means that you have someone that will tell you when things are not going so well and you believe that I've reached the end of the road, and then they remind you that, remember, you have a personal positioning and you have to stick to your personal positioning. When changes come, they should not derail you. You need to take them, accept them with an open mind and with an open heart and a clear mind, trusting that every step that you take is actually your true path and your purpose. So they remind you of that. So there'll be changes. You go into a corporate space, you are employed by this boss, and the boss leaves or they get promoted, and then a new boss comes in, and they are not exactly what you signed up for. But you didn't sign up for a boss. You signed up for the role, you signed up for the franchise, and you cannot be derailed because this is something that you need to move on to the next level. And when you sit with your mentor, these are some of the things that they help you with, to say, stick it out. Maybe you could help, because the new boss is coming into a new space as well. What are the things that you're going to do to help them, and give them that comfort? And then so that they understand that we are a team, because they need to feel like they are part of the team as well. So a mentor will help you with that, because they've got the expertise, they've got the experience, and then they understand you. And when you're feeling down and out, you can pick up the phone like at 12 o'clock at night. I'll phone my mentor and say, hey, it's not happening, Baba. And he says, yes, it is happening. Reach within Zen inside. And you've got the answers, because they're not giving you all the answers. They're just guiding you, they're helping you. And then when you off ramp, they'll take you back to the freeway.
You've spoken about Alan Mokoki and the role that he's played in guiding you in your career. So I'd like to play you something from him.
There's a lot to say about Zen. First and foremost, Zen is quite a special character, without any doubt. Works very hard, gets things done. Aggressive, but in a nice, polite, respectful, kind way, full of humor all the time, takes care of people, laughs a lot in terms of creating a very positive environment when it comes to working with people. So I ran into Zen, and I think that we worked together at various stages of our careers throughout the years. And I think at some stage we're all together at Nedbank. And I think that she was the relationship manager, reporting to a regional guy who used to report to a senior guy who used to report to me. And I'm making that statement because one Saturday evening, after 10 p.m., I'm receiving this call from Zen. Ellen, what's going on, Zen? Why are you calling me so late at night? She didn't care about jumping all these people that she used to report to. She came straight to me to say, hey, I understand that my application went through and you're the one that's we're waiting for, whose signature we're waiting for. And I really, really need to get a decision. I said, Zen, did you see what time it is now? It's after 10 p.m. on a Saturday. What kind of client is this who's calling you after 10 p.m.? Says, Alan, you're not going to understand. I really, really, really need to get an answer. And she was really doing it with a lot of respect and kindness, and obviously apologize for calling me on a Saturday evening. Be that as it may, obviously, I checked my information and I actually signed off on the transaction. And I think that from then on, I knew that Zen was always going to do well. She was always going to push for customer service, but she would do it with a level of diligence due to skill and care, and do it in a way in which she didn't necessarily, create conflict or a bad environment in terms of the world of work. I think that she has huge doses of emotional intelligence, takes care of people, cares a lot about people, while she's very pushy, but she's able to push in a way that is a soft power type thing, and take care of the business. And I knew Zen was always going to do well. And throughout that period when we're all together at Nedbank, she was always showing up amongst all the top performers, the people who get the awards, and the reward would be to go overseas, and Zen was always there, and I knew that Zen was always going to do well. So wishing Zen the best of luck, and whatever she touches, I know that she will do exceptionally well. Thank you.
Oh, Alan, he knows me. You want that deal, you get the deal. And I'm sure Sim can attest to that. I'm sure the board can attest to that, because it's for me, it's always about making that impact. I look after public sector, and public sector is the most exciting and scary portfolio for obvious reasons. I mean, you think about the Zondo Commission, the Mbati Commission, everything that has happened in the public sector space. You think about SAA. We were the main bankers for SAA, by the way. And when I took over the role of executive and I was assigned this portfolio, how I moved into that space, Nzinga, let me just say, I had said that I'm bored from product. I wanted something quite exciting, quite different, because I always refer to myself as an octopus. I've got 8 limbs, and I want each limb to work. And when 3, 4, 5 are not working, I feel very paralyzed, and I cannot be paralyzed. Of course, this is Zen. I have to be out there. And I said, I'm looking for something quite different, and I think I'll do it in client coverage, because you can be an octopus. And then when you reflect back and then you look at some of the things that you've done, some of things that looked very impossible and you've delivered on, you realize that it's not so much of an effort. It's the ability to put people together and to change the narrative.
When you're speaking about changing the narrative, when you walk into rooms now, boardrooms, people listen to you because you occupy a powerful position, you have a powerful disposition. It wasn't always like that, though, I imagine, in your career. How did you make sure in your early days that your voice was heard, even when people didn't want to hear it?
So I like your first question when you asked me about what would I say to an 18-year-old Zen. It's really about being authentic and having conviction, but you have to understand what you're talking about. You have to appraise yourself of the environment that you are in. If you're operating in specific industries, you need to understand your industries. And I'm going to digress a little bit. Men have a tendency of knowing what to say to exclude women. And, you could be sitting in a setting, could be an event, like intimate event, and then they're thinking, okay, let's have a men conversation. Then they start talking about soccer. You start talking to them about their story and what they thought, we'll protect, is our space. And then you walk in there and then you talk about it in such a way that they thinking, is she a woman? Is she really a woman? I'm like, yes, of course. And then I've got my blonde hair. You don't need to ask those questions. But you need to be able to switch across. You need to be able to hold conversations, like proper conversations, So conversations are not just about your hair, are not about the style, what you wear. Conversations are real, Nzinga. What is the world going through? You need to understand what is the value that you bring in. So for me, I've been lucky enough, to spend time with boys and to understand what is it that matters, to boys. And then we look at the girls, I'm like, she's not curvy enough, or I think she's smart. Oh, she's tall. Okay, she's too short, And they start thinking, okay, fine, she's a part of us, And they look at me like that. But in business, you really need to understand your subjects, like the disciplines that you deal with, so that when you walk in and there is a debate about the discipline, you dominate and you lead. And you have conviction. Like you have to have conviction because you've done your research, you've covered everything, and then you can talk to that, in detail. So when you start doing that, it's not necessarily a tag, but they will know you. I know most of my male colleagues would say she knows her, but what they actually mean is she has that value to add. They will call me, what are your thoughts on this? Not necessarily just in government. So you make a difference, by bringing in the value and being authentic and having conviction. So in authentic, you have conviction and your discipline. And you can go into any boardroom because you're going to discuss what you understand very well. You can talk about the value chain, you can talk about options, alternatives, and you are open to any other idea. It's not just about what you bring on board, but when someone brings in something that is different, you actually leverage that and you bring it in. That's how you actually open up the space. And I've had to build that, over time, leveraging the likes of your Alan, leveraging various other ladies. I've learned over time that actually it's about knowing what you're talking about because it gives you that title of she's an expert.
There's a story
Yeah.
about when you were starting your career. Okay. You're in a boardroom. We don't have to say where. People are not listening to you.
Yeah.
What do you do?
So I was 32. I'd just been given that regional head role, which is quite big, and I sat in the provincial and advisory board in one of the corporates I worked for, and in that board, I was the youngest, and I was the only black female, but there was another female who was a professor at university. And so there was just two of us in a boardroom. And I got my board pack, and then I'd go through my board pack, and I would need to talk to my contribution. But came into the boardroom and to the board meeting, and they got into a section that I needed to contribute to. But Chair was never going to see my hand. The moment I put my hand up, Chair was not seeing my hand. And I thought, I need to share this. It's very important. And towards the end, I actually stood up and apologized for standing up. And I said, I'm not sure if I'm too short for Chair not to see me, or maybe I should be on the table so the Chair could see me. But I really, really have a burning issue that I need to put on the table. It changed everything, like I remember, like I'd get into the board meeting, Chair would ask, Zen, what are your thoughts on this? Zen, what are your thoughts on this? So I gave myself a voice because it felt like you are in the space, but you don't have a voice.
And now you're doing that for women who are coming after you.
Yes.
You are making sure that they have a voice, they are heard, and they don't have to threaten the chair to stand on the table.
Yeah, so sometimes when you look at people's personalities, some women, some young women that I mentor, they've got strong personalities, and I've picked on them, specifically because they have so much to offer. So we can't miss out because of a strong personality that a lot of people would want to walk away from. Mm-hmm. So I'm able to come in, I'm able to rein in and just guide, the process. But also, my biggest thing is the impact, like I always say, like Julius Nyerere, when he was asked, how do you see proper leadership? Like, how can you actually say that you've been a great leader? What is it? What are the things that make you say that you've been a great leader? And his response was, the leadership that comes after you does better than what you've done. And the one that comes after the leadership that you are responsible for, they just excel. So for me, it's our time, but the people that we hand the baton over to must do exceptionally better than what we've done. Like Abo Mama Charlotte Maxeke, Abo Lillian Goyi, they've paved the way, they've done all the great things. And for us is but you have to be contemporary, relevant, and move with the times and acknowledge your male counterparts, because they can't be confused about what is happening. They must be part and parcel of this. So that's exactly what I love doing.
Well, one of your mentees, Nompilo Mchali, has a message for you, and I'd like to play that as well.
Zen, you have encouraged me to be an authentic leader. One of my favorite characteristics about you is how authentic you are. I can bump into you on a Monday morning for a coffee catch-up, or see you walking with the most senior person in the bank, or a graduate that just joined the bank yesterday. You are authentic. You are yourself through and through. I remember when we first started our mentor-mentee relationship, you always encouraged me to show up as Nompilo, the best version of myself. You encourage all those around you to show up as the best versions of themselves. Furthermore, you are a leader that leads with kindness, yet you possess so much strength. I can pinpoint a number of instances where you've coached me with so much kindness, coached me with so much grace. We need leaders in the workplace that act with kindness, that are human first. So I want to thank you for inspiring me to be an authentic leader that is kind, but a leader that possesses so much strength.
Oh, wow.
Beautiful.
It's lovely, eh? One of the most amazing, humble, and kind individuals that I've come across. The utmost respect. She has a PhD. She used to be a lecturer at Wits Business School, and she moved from that space to join banking. And she just became like someone like that is quite junior. She thought that maybe I need to start, if she could maybe be a teller for that matter. That's how she is thinking, because she is humble like that. Like we had our engagements, we had our sessions. I picked up that, oh, wow, this is a diamond, like proper diamond. It's not even a rough diamond for that matter. It's just a diamond that's lying there. Just need to polish it. I always say a girl has to have various tribes. Like as a girl, as a woman, you need to have at least a minimum of 3 tribes. The first tribe is the people that you grew up with. It could be the people you went to school with. The second tribe, it's the people you work with. Like the ladies that you can connect with. Tribe means that you've got people that you can connect with quite well. So from school, you've got a lot of people, but you can only connect with specific people that understand you, that support you. And a tribe means these are the people that support you. These are the people that will tell you that, oh, it's going not so right for you. And the same applies when you get to a work or a corporate space. You need to have that tribe as well. And then the third, this is the minimum, by the way. And then the third is the leadership, the women leaders, the people that you can look up to, the people that you can leverage, the people that will tell you the honest truth without actually blinking, because you are learning from them. So I believe that I've sustained myself through having tribes. I have 5 tribes.
Okay, what are the other 2?
The other 2 are fun tribes. And obviously, the fun tribes, it means that you actually have to let go of everything and be you and enjoy yourself. And the other tribe is the one that guides you, like in terms of academics. Like you'll talk about the world, you'll talk about the geopolitics, you'll talk about where countries are going, you'll talk about the future, you'll talk about everything that makes sense. That is a serious tribe. And for me, you have that serious tribe, and that's why I packed the two. You've got that serious tribe, then you've got that fun tribe. When I sit with my serious tribe, I have to make sure that I connect with my fun tribe just to stabilize things, because it is serious. You know, what we're going through globally, there's a lot that's going on globally, but you need to remember so that you can plan.
You've spoken about the support that your husband has given you, not just in your career now, from when you were a young mom trying to figure out what was happening. Just take me through that. And then when you're doing these high pressure, massive deals, the importance of that support.
Yeah, family, very strong on family. He believes that everyone should have a family, and his whole, it's family. His kids, myself, and yes, we have the extras, but me and the kids are his world, and supported me as I was studying, because I was doing it as a mother and as a wife. I would come back. I remember I was doing analytical techniques, you know, like you call it statistics. And it was like shaking me. So I'd sit with him, and he says, okay, fine, explain to me where you challenged. And I'll take him through like a specific area, like maybe frequency distribution or calculus. And then he'll sit me down and actually take me through like specific pointers to look out for. And when I was writing exams, he'd come and support, like the biggest cheerleader for me, biggest cheerleader. So he's been there. When I'm working on a deal, I get home, I'll be like tense. You know, I'm sitting there. He says, "Don't talk to Nene." They call me Nene. "Don't talk to Nene. It's hectic. Like, let's give her some space." He will give me space, and like when I'm losing it, I'll ask him, "So, what do you think? Should I argue this?" He's like, "Argue what you need to argue. If there's no need to argue, trust the process, it will happen." So he has actually given me support, like in that space, even with family, you know, like my siblings. He'll say, "No, you're a baby. Yeah, you're the baby. Allow the sister to be the sister, so I'll be the baby." And yeah, amazing.
Zen Dlamini, thank you so much for your time on Why She Leads. It's been such an incredible privilege learning from the lessons that you have learned as you've progressed in your journey, as you've climbed the corporate ladder. Thank you so much for being so generous with your time and the lessons that you've learned. Really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Nzenga. And thank you, gorgeous African woman. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and yeah, just reflecting on all these things. Sometimes we forget the little things that make a difference. So yeah, thanks for reminding me.
I feel like I got a crash course in mentoring from the incredible journey that you've had and the lessons. I'm so grateful, really. Thank you.
Thanks, Nzenga. I think you're amazing. I think you're great.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep shining.
Thank you.
Thanks.